If you are seeing this, this issue is very crucial, though given uh, in a very lighter vein. There was a news in Times of India, and most of the people they ignored. Hmm? It is VA CSIR. VA is VA, not VA. Wrinkles are hmm? ठीक है ना? Wrinkles अच्छे हैं. And I'm very sure that there was an advertisement दाग अच्छे हैं. Those people they will sue CSIR for cheating the slogan taking. This is the CSR. They have done something which seems very ordinary, but which is very important. What it says, introduce this campaign where CSIR workforce can wear unironed clothes on Mondays. The council and the constituents. Hmm? Let's iron out climate change, not our clothes. It's a good slogan. But CSR, they have a large network. Hmm? They have 37 national laboratories and 39 outreach centers. And as a whole, about 8,000 people are there working. That may be a good number. And the madam, the director, and Selvi, director general, she has initiated and she has initiated some other things also. But the issue is it going to make any impact? Will you be wearing unwrinkled or wrinkled clothes? And why only on Monday? Why not 7 days? Means when you iron your clothes on Sunday, one set you keep separate. That this I'm going to wear on Monday. Hmm? This must wear wrinkles. And I doubt whether Madam it herself should be wearing a sari on Monday, which is wrinkled. Nobody is going to do. But this is really interesting because it shows the interest that is there. And I was thinking about making this video 3 4 days ago, but I was not having proper content. Today only we had the two news. This is very interesting news on in Hindustan Times. It says human induced global warming increasing at unprecedented rate. And what is the news? Has been increasing at a rate that is unprecedented in the instrumental record, reaching 0.26 degrees centigrade per decade over 2014 to 13. It has also flagged on this is the date that 1.5 degrees centigrade compatible carbon budget is very small and shrinking faster than the earlier understood due to continuing high global carbon dioxide emissions. And this is definitely a serious matter. But how can you resolve this carbon issue if the people like us say that American way of life is uncompromising? They cannot, and they are the biggest emitters. And what they do is they charge people, countries like India that we emit a lot. We say that talk in terms of per capita, so we are very low that way. What happened for their development? These developed countries they destroyed their trees and everything, and they want the third world countries to keep their environment, to keep their trees, so that the world environment is not spoiled further. You had a Rio meeting in 1991, an agreement was reached. The developed countries they agreed on maintaining their forest, but developed countries they had to give 0.8% of their GDP to developing countries, and also the technology which they required. The agreement was reached, but they never did, not a single penny. So this thing is continuing. Human induced warning has been increasing at the rate that is unprecedented. The same thing. Hmm? Greenhouse gas emissions being at an all-time high of around 54 gigaton carbon dioxide per year over the last decade. And this data is combined by a group of publications, and this is given in advance. This is pre-publication. Most importantly, the paper has flagged that the remaining carbon budget for meeting Paris Agreement 1.5 degree C with a 50% likelihood has reduced from 500 gigaton CO2 at the end of 2020 to 150 at the start of 24 due to continuously high carbon dioxide emissions. So this is a great warning to all of us, but make it be it very sure the concern is everybody's, but nobody is bothered. And then today you had in Statesman you had this again in today's only, and both these are there in the official telegram. Hmm? This is very interesting because this article says that if you are a non-vegetarian, then snakes can be a better food for you to save carbon. Why? Because snakes eat too less. So the loss is also, they have conducted a research that is published in Nature on 14 March. The researchers studied more than 4,600 pythons. Hmm? And how much they take very less and they grow very fast. But how much impact is there? How much energy we lose when we consume 1 kg of meat? We are consuming 16,000 liters of water unknowingly. Hmm? When we have a cup of coffee in the morning, we consume 150 liters of precious water from the earth. And this is the water which is required to grow the plant or to grow that animal. Hmm? So that is not visible. This heat did all these things. Like, this is virtual water consumed. India exports about 20 million kgs of coffee annually, and therefore is responsible for exporting about 4 lakh 20,000 million liters of water, virtual Indian water. And countries like Argentina, Brazil, and US export billions of liters of virtual water everywhere, while countries like Egypt, Italy, and Japan import billions of virtual water. Hmm? This professor, he decided all these things. Hmm? One thing is there, like we grow a lot of rice and wheat, and we know they require plenty of water. A country like China, who has better technology and better yields they have, still they produce less and they import because no water one day, if you don't save it, is precarious. And not only that, we have no mechanism to store water also. All the water in the of the rains that dirts into the ocean. Hmm? You have n number of schemes, but nothing works. Then hmm, it's ironic that while we are so concerned about greenhouse gases and their impact on the environment, we are more or less oblivious to fresh water consumption and impact on the environment. In a world where one in every 5 persons does not have access to fresh water, and particularly when the demand for water resources the whole world is increasing, the issue of water footprints needs to be taken seriously. Fresh water only nature gives you. And if you cannot store, I think we don't have the right to survive even. The future will be really bleak. That was 1 in 5. And now this report says that by 2030, water scarcity impact 40% of the world population and 70 crore people are at risk of being displaced as a result of water crisis. By 2040, almost one in four children will be living in an area extremely high water stress. Among many options suggested by WHO to mitigate water crisis, attitudinal change is prime one. Attitudinal change that covers everything. That covers your behavior. That covers your awareness of environment. That also covers the kind of foods that you produce and you take. Then again coming back to that, snakes require minimal water and can live with the dew that settles on their scales in the morning. They also need very little food. and live off rodents and other pests that attack food crops. But the author also says that this thing, though there are people in Asia who have been consuming this, the world will not agree at this moment. So, if you are a non vegetarian and if you are living on chicken and goat and sheep, which really concerns not only your environment but your whole of survivors, then snakes can be a better food. Shocked, huh? That.